What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be working in my parents' room. My dad's actually pretty tired of this plant you guys see here. It is on the way to the bathroom, so when he's going to the bathroom, he does tend to walk into this plant that you see here. It's a little obnoxious. It's also blocking the light switch for the bathroom. So we're just going to be getting rid of this plant today. Once you get rid of this plant, we're going to be lining this wall with some shiplap. We're also going to install a floating shelf. So it's going to be more of a decorative corner rather than having this plant here that serves no purpose. For this project, we are going to make it a little bit interesting. We're going to only be using a drill, a miter saw, a Dremel, and also a brad nail gun. All the supplies that I'm going to be using for this project is all leftover supplies. I didn't go out and purchase anything. It's just things that I have left over from all the DIY projects. You can probably see a little bit of this wall here. Built for my mom about 3 weeks ago. This was before I started the YouTube channel. I do have before and after picture of this wall. This used to be just a flat wall, and she wanted a fireplace and the TV mounted on something that would pop and make the room just feel a little bit warmer. So I built this wall out and covered it with shiplap, popped the fireplace and the TV right onto the wall. So for this, we're going to be doing something similar as far as the shiplap, and then we're just going to put a floating shelf there just to give it a little bit different feel. Step number one, shiplap. We're gonna cut every piece 26 1/4. We can start lining that down the wall. They'll probably do a lot more on my face than on my head. Alright guys, from the pieces of shiplap that I had, I'm able to get 8 cuts. Now, I'm going to start from the top. I'm leaving the crown molding. We're going to start from the top. We're going to work our way down. I'm only going to use 7 of them. Each one of these is 8 inches wide. Don't want it to come too far down or else the shelf's going to sit pretty low. We'll see how it looks. Right underneath the last one is where that floating shelf is going to sit. So we're going to start installing these. We are going to be using brad nail gun with the 18 gauge nails as well. Let's go ahead and start installing this. After installing the 7, I decided to do one more, so we did do all 8 pieces that I had cut. So far, this is what it's looking like. We're not going to run it all the way down because the shelf is going to sit right underneath that last piece. Now, we're going to go head back downstairs. We're going to be making the floating shelf. We're going to be using 2x3s for that floating shelf. That's it for right now. Let's go ahead and cut that floating shelf. Yo! Alright, so I didn't have any 2x3s in the garage. Hopefully we have some in the shed. If not, I gotta go buy. But let's cross our fingers. Hopefully it's in there. All right, save the day. We're in business. All right, so I just finished cutting everything for the floating shelf. I just realized I do not have 2.5 inch screws. I did run out of them doing the mudroom corner project. We're gonna take a quick trip to Home Depot, go ahead and pick those screws up so we can finish the shelf, put it together, and then mount it on the wall. Go ahead and bring Meek inside first though. He is not happy being outside. How do we think this project's gonna look? I'm a little skeptical about it. It might look good, might not look good. It has to look good. It's going in my parents' room, has to look good. And if you guys are enjoying this video, just click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Only if you want to. If you don't want to, then don't. But subscribe and like the video. All right, I gotta drive. Bye. I don't know why, but every time I come into Home Depot, I get this feeling of joy. Weird. You can find anything in here. Anything. Comment if you like Home Depot or Lowe's. I'm more of Home Depot kind of person. I don't know about you guys, but every time I come to Home Depot, I always end up leaving with something extra. You can't beat this. 101 pieces for $9. You can never have too many bits. You can never have too many anything that's in here. I think it's a pretty good deal, and I picked it up along with my screws. Let's go home and finish this project before we make it any longer than it has to be. All right, now that I have my screws, we are gonna go ahead and start securing the floating shelf. So instead of using the Dremel, we're gonna use the table saw. So we're gonna go ahead and trim out the top. So no more Dremel, cross that out. We're using the table saw now. Bang. Don't mind my face, it's freezing outside. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and install this first. This is gonna be our support base for our floating shelf. So we'll go ahead and secure that. Installing the floating shelf. So we're going for a walk right now while the wood filler dries a little bit, and then once we come back, wood filler should be dry enough to sand everything and then give it some paint. Guys, the video and the project is over. I hope you like it. This is the final product. This is the final product. Painted the Shiplap, decorations, a mirror. Hopefully you like it. Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think.